In this video, we're counting down the top 10 Michael Jackson dance moves that were flat out impossible to learn, and we're starting with the big one. The anti-gravity lean from Smooth Criminal. In 10th place, the ankle breaker lives up to its name with a burst of footwork that looks like Jackson is about to snap his own ankle, yet he never misses a beat. This move demands lightning-fast ankle flicks, where the foot whips outward at speeds that force the stabilizer muscles to fire in less than 50 milliseconds. That is faster than most people's natural reflexes can even register. Miss the timing by a hair, and you are looking at a high risk of sprain. Dance medicine studies put ankle injuries from moves like this at up to 4 sprains per 1,000 hours for non-professionals. To pull it off safely, dancers spend months conditioning their peroneal muscles and training their reaction time. For most, the window for safe execution simply is not there, making the ankle breaker a move that is as risky as it is impossible for anyone but the most elite. Number 9, the finger dance from Remember the Time, takes impossibility to a microscopic level. In the 1992 short film, Jackson's hands become the main event, each finger moving with pinpoint independence, tracing Egyptian-inspired shapes in the air. This is not just wiggling fingers, it is a display of neural dexterity that rivals concert pianists. Every tiny muscle in the hand works overtime, isolating each joint so precisely that even slight fatigue blurs the crispness. Dancers trying to match this find their fingers locking up after a few seconds. Hours of isolation drills are needed just to approach this kind of control. For most, the challenge is not strength or gear, it is wiring the brain for this level of finger-by-finger command, a test of patience and endurance that only Jackson seemed to pass. 8th place belongs to the robot, but not the stiff, jerky version from the 1970s street corners. Michael Jackson took that mechanical classic and turned it into something almost unrecognizable by the 1990s, sharper, smoother, and way more complex. Watch him in the Dangerous Tour. Every joint, from his neck down to his knees, locks and releases in perfect sequence, matching the music beat for beat. Lighting cues even hit on the exact moment his elbow snaps or his shoulder pops, adding another layer of pressure. Pulling this off demands total control. Each body segment moves alone, then flows into the next with split-second timing. Dancers break the move down into dozens of micro-isolations, but most hit a wall, trying to keep transitions crisp and the illusion alive. It is a masterclass in segment-by-segment motor control, setting the bar for what isolation means in dance. Number 7, multiple spins, is where Michael Jackson's childhood training and superhuman balance take center stage. Back in his very first Motown audition in the 1960s, Jackson stunned everyone by whipping out a dizzying series of toe spins, sometimes topping 20 rotations in a row, all without breaking form. On stage, he would plant his weight on the tip of one foot, snap into a tight axis, and just go, spotting his head at each turn and never losing focus. Most dancers start to wobble or get lightheaded after just a few spins. Jackson trained his inner ear for years, building up a resistance to vertigo and learning to control his momentum with pinpoint precision. Pulling off this kind of spin marathon is not just about raw speed, it is a battle with your own senses, demanding relentless practice and a level of vestibular endurance that leaves even pros reeling. Number 6, the side slide looks deceptively simple, just Michael gliding sideways across the stage, face forward, like he is on a moving walkway. But frame by frame, it is a masterclass in micro-timing. Each step demands a lightning-fast shift of weight from heel to toe, with the tiniest adjustments to keep his center of mass perfectly balanced. The upper body barely moves, a statue from the waist up, while the feet whisper over the floor in a seamless line. Even a split-second delay or a millimeter too much pressure, and the illusion shatters, exposing the trick. Surface friction has to be dialed in just right, or the slide turns into a stumble. Dancers break down the move into 0.1 second intervals, studying how Jackson's foot never fully leaves the ground. It is all precision, no spectacle, and that is exactly why almost nobody can make it look this effortless. Number 5, the circle slide turns the moonwalk on its head, literally. Instead of gliding in a straight line, Jackson spins a full 360 degrees, keeping his feet whispering over the floor in a perfect arc. The first time fans saw it was during the 1984 Victory Tour, and it was instantly clear this was not just a party trick. The move demands a razor-sharp sense of momentum. Jackson had to torque his hips just enough to keep the circle tight, all while adjusting the pressure and angle of each foot to avoid sticking or slipping out of control. Footwear matters here. Too much grip and you stall, too little and you spin out. The glide has to be seamless, the pivot friction dialed into the millimeter. Dancers who try it find themselves losing speed, wobbling off course, or breaking the illusion halfway through. It is a masterclass in rotational control, and most never even get close. Number 4, the toe stand, is where Michael Jackson's physical limits went from impressive to flat-out impossible. Picture this. After whipping out the moonwalk, he plants one foot, rises up onto the very tips of his toes, and holds his entire body weight there. No wobble, no hands, just pure calf strength and balance. He started refining this move back in 1979, but it took years of plyometric training and relentless drills to build the muscle endurance and ankle stability needed for even a 5-second hold. The real challenge is all about plantar flexion, forcing the foot to point down so hard that the calf muscles and Achilles tendon are loaded to their max. Most people risk a tendon rupture just trying to get up there, let alone stay balanced. With no hidden tech or props, it is all about raw conditioning, and that is why so few have ever pulled it off without risking serious injury. Coming to the top 3, the Thriller choreography and the Jackson Shuffle push the boundary between spectacle and science. Picture a stage packed with dancers, every limb locked to the same beat, executing those iconic zombie walks, sharp pivots, and sudden freezes. But underneath the monster masks, there is a technical gauntlet. Group timing is so tight that if anyone is off by even a few milliseconds, the whole illusion falls apart. Motion Labs have broken down the Thriller routine, mapping out how the ensemble's timing window is measured in thousandths of a second. Then there is the Jackson Shuffle, a rapid-fire heel-toe footwork sequence that clocks in at over 200 beats per minute. Force plate studies show the pressure shifts under each foot are lightning fast, demanding explosive calf strength and pinpoint balance. For most dancers, fatigue sets in long before the routine ends. The Thriller set piece is not just a Halloween classic, it is a masterclass in synchronization and speed that even today's pros still struggle to nail. In second place, the moonwalk stands as the greatest dance move in history. On March 25, 1983, during Motown 25 in a performance of Billie Jean, Michael Jackson glides backward across the stage, looking like he is floating on air while every muscle in his legs works overtime. The trick is not just sliding your feet, it is about manipulating friction. One foot pushes forward with barely any pressure, while the other drags back, locked in static friction, creating that impossible illusion. Jackson's weight shifts in microseconds, keeping his center of gravity perfectly balanced so the glide stays silky smooth. But here is the kicker. After blowing the roof off with the moonwalk, Jackson ended with a toe stand, and backstage he broke down in tears because he thought he did not hold it long enough. That is the level of perfectionism driving every detail. Dancers try for years to match the seamless transitions and pinpoint control, but most end up with choppy slides or awkward stumbles. The moonwalk is not just a move, it is a masterclass in physics, timing, and obsession. And finally, in first place, the anti-gravity lean from Smooth Criminal isn't just a dance move, it's a straight-up challenge to the laws of physics. Picture Michael Jackson tilting forward at a wild 45 degrees, back perfectly straight, feet flat on the floor as if gravity just stopped working for him. But here is the kicker. For most people, the body gives out at about 20 degrees before you topple over. Even elite dancers with years of core training might get to 30 degrees if they are lucky. Neurosurgeons from the Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research in India actually published a study in the Journal of Neurosurgery Spine breaking down why this move is anatomically impossible without help. They found the torque on the ankles and the stress on the Achilles tendon go off the charts at those angles. No amount of muscle can save you. The secret? Jackson co-invented and patented a special shoe with a V-shaped slot in the heel. During the performance, a hidden metal peg pops up from the stage, locks into the shoe, and anchors his foot, letting him lean way past human limits. Even then, it takes insane core strength to hold and recover from the lean. Fans who tried to copy it without the tech ended up with sprained ankles and even torn tendons. So as jaw-dropping as it looks, this move is best left to the king of pop and his patented shoes. Across all 10 moves, one thing is clear. Michael Jackson didn't just break dance barriers, he rewrote what the human body could do. His impossible routines fused invention, obsession, and risk, setting a standard even experts cannot match. That's why his legend isn't just history, it's a challenge.